Thousands of spectators stood, some screaming, others could only stare at one figure in the middle of KimTaehyung's stage. No one knows what will happen next. The background music had stopped, the atmosphere was suddenly silent, and only the bated breath could be heard from tens of thousands of fans who seemed to be waiting for something they had not guessed. Then, in the silence, Taehyung's soft voice began to sound, a melody that was not written on the set list of the concert that night. It's a song I haven't sung on stage in a long time. Save me, save me. His voice was quiet, almost like a whisper. But for every ARMY present in the concert arena, those words penetrated deep into the chest, igniting an old memory, igniting something that cannot be explained by mere nostalgia. They know the song. They know who first made the song so meaningful to BTS and to their fans around the world. But that night, what made things even more jarring was the direction Taehyung looked directly at Jungkook, who was sitting on the side of the stage, looking back with eyes that seemed to start to glaze over. Did I ask this a coincidence? Or is it a hidden message that only the two of them can understand? The question hung in the air, spinning in the minds of everyone who watched those moments. There was no announcement, no signal, no sign that something like this was going to happen. There was only Taehyung's melodious voice that suddenly slid, as if emerging from the deepest impulse of the heart. While the cameras of the fans began to shake, the hands closed their mouths, and tears began to fall before the song reached the second verse. The glare of the lights followed Taehyung's movements, while Jungkook's face slowly paled, holding back the emotions that were clearly visible. He smiled, then lowered his head, then raised his head again, this time with wet eyes, as if he was trying to hold back something that wanted to break. And when Taehyung stares at her again while singing the line, "I need your love before I fall," all those defenses collapse. Jungkook covered his face with his hands. His tears literally fell, and the whole stadium thundered with hysterical screams. At that moment, the world seemed to stop turning. All eyes were on just those two figures. No one spoke, but it was as if everyone knew that what they were witnessing was not just an ordinary chant. There is a deep feeling between two friends who have been through so much together, a sense of longing, and perhaps something deeper that only the two of them know. It didn't take long before the internet exploded. Armies from around the world watching the live broadcast began flooding social media platforms with incredulous comments. What just happened? Taehyung really sang "Save Me" for Jungkook? Why does this feel so personal? Fans are tweeting in a mix of emotion and euphoria. The hashtags #Taehyung for Jungkook, #SaveMeLive, and #Jungkook crying within seconds dominated global trends in just 15 minutes. But the biggest question arises from a different direction. Why now? Why did Taehyung choose to sing "Save Me," a song born in the most emotional era in BTS history, at a concert that wasn't even theirs? Why was Jungkook there, sitting on the edge of the stage, staring as if he already knew something was going to happen? Is this an artistic coincidence? Or is it a sign that something is coming? Something that they have not yet revealed to the public? Tyler, the owner of the concert, even stopped at Jungkook's face, crying silently, reinforcing the increasingly unstoppable dramatic atmosphere. The audience cheered, but among them, many could only remain silent and let their tears flow. In the history of countless concerts, there has rarely been a single spontaneous moment that could transform an atmosphere of this magnitude, from a crowd to a silence full of flavor. Even after the song ended, Taehyung didn't say much. He just smiled a little, glanced at Jungkook, then walked slowly to the side of the stage. Jungkook, who was still sitting, was seen rubbing his cheek with the back of his hand. The camera captured it clearly, and the cheers echoed again, this time not out of hysteria, but out of empathy. Everyone knew they had just witnessed something honest, something that could not be planned. The explosion of reaction came not long after the concert ended. Within minutes, footage of Taehyung singing "Save Me" while staring at Jungkook flooded all social media platforms. From X, Twitter, to TikTok, from Instagram Reels to YouTube Shorts, they all reload that moment with a different point of view. Some focused on Jungkook's bitter smile. Others enlarged Taehyung's facial expression when he said the last lyrics in a trembling tone. In each cut of the video, the same atmosphere is clearly felt. Honesty that breaks through the boundaries of the stage. Do you feel it? This is no ordinary performance. A Japanese army officer wrote under the 19-second video that has now been viewed more than 12 million times in just 2 hours. The comment was flooded with replies from around the world. "I'm crying for no reason," wrote a user from Brazil. "As if there is a hidden message behind the lyrics," said another account from Korea. "Taehyung called Jungkook with a song, not with words," wrote one person from the Philippines, and the comment immediately got thousands of likes. This phenomenon is not just viral. It turns into a global emotional wave. Many thought that what Taehyung did that night was a form of sincere expression, maybe longing, maybe a symbol of friendship that has been forged by time, or maybe a hidden message for the future of BTS that has been a big puzzle. Not a few fans who associate the moment with the comeback issue, which in recent months has been increasingly widely heard. However, behind all the euphoria, there is something quieter, deeper, and more touching. Many soldiers admitted to feeling something strange, as if Taehyung was not just singing, but conveyed feelings that had been buried for a long time. The way he looked at Jungkook, the expression on his face, even the small vibrations in his voice on each lyric felt so personal. "I felt like I was watching someone speak through song, not words," one of the spectators at the concert said in an interview with local media. When Taehyung mentions that the song is spontaneous, the public becomes even more suspicious. Because in the world of such large concerts, nothing is really spontaneous, especially when it comes to copyright and large arrangements. But Taehyung calmly simply replied, "Sometimes the music calls you first." The sentence went viral almost instantly. Many interpreted it as a form of longing for BTS's past, for a time when they stood together on the same stage, singing a song that united millions of hearts. Meanwhile, Jungkook chose to remain silent. No official statement, no uploads, no comments. Just one black and white photo on her Instagram stories that appeared a few hours after the concert. The photo shows a view of the stage from a distance, with a simple caption, "I heard you." Those two words were enough to make the whole fandom go into an uproar. What does that mean? Did he respond to Taehyung's song? Is it a sign of communication between those who do not want to be explained to the public? Speculation is growing fast. Some fans recalled how Taehyung and Jungkook were once known as the duo that most often showed emotional closeness among BTS members. From small behind-the-scenes interactions to gazes that often provoke deep interpretations, the relationship between the two has long been the talk of both the ARMY and the entertainment media. That night, however, everything felt differently more sincere, heavier, and more real. Some Korean media even dropped an article with a similar headline, "Taehyung's unplanned song for Jungkook leaves fans in tears." One journalist wrote, "There is a rare moment when an old song turns into a new language between two souls who understand each other without the need to talk." The sentence was redistributed in various forums and international news portals, adding a layer of emotion to the narrative that has already thrilled cyberspace. But the biggest question remains hanging. Is this just nostalgia or a signal? The signal that they are preparing something might be a joint work, or even a sign that BTS is stringing together a new chapter after their long hiatus. All possibilities are open, and each theory has its own basis. ARMY, with their sharp instincts, began to unravel the small clues that might have been spread long before the concert took place. And large fanbase forums. Fans noticed that 2 days before the concert, Taehyung uploaded a photo of the twilight sky with the caption, "Some voices never fade," while Jungkook, on the same day, posted a short video as he hummed an unknown melody in the studio. When the two moments are combined, they seem like two pieces of one big message, and the concert becomes a moment where everything combines.